Hi guys, Paul here from PA Brew News. Got a beer here that's a fresh release from New Trail Brewing Company, so I'm going to try to pop these up. I did a field guide, and Between the Pines is already up, and then I need to pop that one up, and this one now. Well, what's that all about? Baggy eyes. So anyway, 4-pack of Backcast. Now, you've seen Backcast on the channel 2 or 3 times now, but this is the newest release of it. Let's see what it says. 9% alcohol. 9% alcohol by volume. Good start. Zacca and Citra. Malts are Germanic malts, oats, and wheat. Okay, so there we go. And Citra is very nice. And of course, I'm looking forward to April 6th, which is the first day of trout. I don't know if I'm super excited about the first day or week or whatever, but it is nice to get. I'm already like sad about winter falling away, and not, I wanted like at least a month full of -20 weather, you know, that kind of thing. Well, that's an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. But I wanted some good old winter because I wanted to do some survival camping, winter camping, and that just didn't happen. I mean, it just came and then it went. The winter went. But I am looking forward to fly fishing and stuff, and April 6th is the first day of trout in Pennsylvania. Already got my trout tag, of course. I get them 10 years at a time, so I'm good there. Anywho, anyhow, and planning on doing more fishing in general this year, and on the PA Outdoors Couple channel, if you check that out, if you haven't subscribed yet, probably going to do a little more fishing, actually fishing on that channel, and do like a, you know, catch and cook kind of stuff too. So if you're into that and looking at different streams while we travel across Pennsylvania, we'll let you know what stream we're in when we are fishing and having a good time. So, and there's a couple streams where we went and did adventures that I'd like to go back to and hit those as well. So, a little trout fishing action. And if you're a backcaster, if you do like the old fly fishing, because I got my fly fishing stuff right there, you might enjoy that. Now, I didn't do any roll or whatever, but let's just throw it in. It should just be nicely hazed. This New Trail Brewing Company never really had a lot of problem with a lot of chunks if you didn't do the roll. So, and of course, this one looks nicely hazed. And I do like the tint of that color too on that can. It looks nice. Very nice. And right now I'm painting a big old sumbitch. I just started that one. That's a base coat. It's going to be an epic foggy waterfall thing. I don't know what I'm doing, of course, when I do it. It's just coming out that way, and all right, cool. So that one will be a gift for the lady if it comes out well for her office. So anyway, let's get into this. It doesn't really matter. This, I mean, maybe the crazy background is not conducive to people watching these videos. I don't really care. Whatever. I'm going to try to get back into the dungeon again. One of my efforts is to really clean that whole place up, get it nice and clean and organized, and maybe go back down there. So anyway, let's get it. Let this breathe for a little bit. It was in a cooler. I don't like that. So now it's kind of warmed up a little bit more. It's not as cold to the touch, which is nice. And let it breathe for a little bit. Let's go see what we get. I know I just got home from work. See what we can get on the nose. And a beautiful, almost like an apricot tonality to this one. Cool. Okay, so sharp citrus. There is a sharp nectarine, tangerine, grapefruit kind of wafting through me. Pow! Whoa. Yeah. A little sweet fleshiness as well in there and mixing in. A little sweet fruit. Alright. There is a lot of spicy earthiness mixing in with that sharp citrus tonality. A little bit of a soft hint of a breadiness. Let us cheers. Okay, in the background of that sweetness, of that fruit tonality, I am getting something like a little bit of a funky, musty peach vibe in there as well. I am getting definitely a lot of tangerine notes, a little bit of grapefruit wafting through there, shining through now and again. There is something that reminds me a little bit of a stone fruit besides the peach, maybe a little bit of a apricot, maybe on that citrus side, a little bit of a nectarine vibe. There's a little tonality of that, can't really place it, but it's a very citrus forward, but then it does have a little bit of a stone fruit tonality mixing in there, and not, the body's not super sweet. There is a little bit of a sweetness to it. I would say if you like a drier beer, but you're okay with a little bit of sweetness, this one would be really good for you. Because some of them do. I like a sweeter double IPA, triple IPA, when they get a lot of sweetness going on in there. I actually kind of like that to a certain degree. This one, I think it's balanced. There's enough bitterness. There's enough things going on there with that sweetness that it doesn't get clogging at all. The body is a little bit thin. It's on like medium side of a medium body, tapering to the low side of a medium body. It's a little bit. But if it was a little bit thicker and sweeter and stuff like that, you know, it is what it is. Nice oiliness to the beer, though. I do like to point that out, though, that the body of the beer overall might be a little bit thin, but there is a residual oiliness that helps the mouthfeel and helps linger those flavors a little bit longer. This one's not shouty. I was actually hoping that this one would be a little bit more vibrant, a little bit more shouty, especially because of how fresh it is. It says notes of tangerine, mango, fresh. Oh man, I don't know. I'm sorry. Tangerine, mango, flesh, and lush fruits. Now I did describe a couple fruit tonalities in there. None of this, again, is singing. None of it's shouty. None of it's bombastic. None of it's vibrant. You know what I mean? Yes, it's in here. Maybe that's, I don't know. Let me reflect a little bit. Now, honestly, the one thing I was just talking about to somebody, too, about like fly fishing. I think everyone, like fly fishing, when you really watch a fly fisherman, human, I mean, it just, everything's, it's like they seem like calm, cool, they got everything under control, almost laid back, like, I know, not like that. I fly fish, so I know it's like wah, 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 you know. But together, the package, it seems very well reserved. And like, no wasted motion, that kind of thing. Maybe that's exactly what's going on in here. Everything's reserved, it's contained, it's not crazy. It's not going every single different direction. Everything is no wasted motion. Everything's on point. It knows what it's doing. You know what I mean? It's moving forward, guys. Maybe this is a fly fisherman's spirit in a glass. I don't know. There's a sharpness in the middle of the palate where that apricot vibe comes out when it mixes with a little bit of that kind of tangerine, not nectarine, to a tangerine, piffy grapefruit, and then this apricot kind of comes up in the middle bit as well. And I would actually like the fleshy mango. There is subtleness to it. I wish that was kicked up a little bit, and then mixing with a little bit more sweetness, and then this would be a very enjoyable, kind of decadent double IPA. But for what it is right now, it's an easy drinking, crushable IPA, and that's good too. Little minerality to the beer on the back end. Malts are pretty much just a soft breadiness. Those Germanic malts are just bringing a little bit of a cracker soft breadiness, basically. It's not too shouty on the malt base. Now, there is a little bit of wheat. I'll give you a little bit more body. There's a little bit of that, again, breadiness coming out, but there's not too much in the malt base. And there is a little bit of a sharper floral tonality coming from that Citra, I believe. Maybe that spiciness from the Azacca too. I mean, there's a nice spicy earthiness, but there's a little bit of a sharp floral tonality, and it's kind of blending a little bit with a lot of that fruit tonality as well. So it's like, ooh, okay, you know, a little bit of sharpness. There are sharp points in this beer, but overall, it's not too shouty, not too bombastic. It seems to be cohesive, Joe. Very blended well together. I think the sweetness is balanced by the sharpness is balanced by the bitterness is balanced by the soft body. Like, everything kind of worked well together. I've had way more, like, let's just say, I can't say better, but I can say more like wow beers from New Trail Brewing Company that are double IPA. So I had that wow factor, but everyone's wow factor is a little bit different. This one is just a really nice beer. I think that the last time I had Goggles and stuff, it was like, oh, it's a really nice re-release, and it's a nice beer. But it's not like making me go like, holy fuck, they nailed this one. You know what I mean? But it's still really good. I think I'm going to give, overall, I'm going to give Backcast an 8.5. 8.5, this has been Paul from PABREWNEWS. Cheers. Watch that figure. Here it comes.